Okay, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Live Market Analytics and Trading with Bell Forex. Today, Monday, we are looking at the New York session, and we are going to be doing this for the next 2 hours. We'll be live, and you have the possibility to share your analytics, to share your trade, and to give trade ideas. We will not just be analyzing or trading the market live, but also we will be assisting traders solve complex trading issues or problems that they are having. So as you can see, I'm actually sharing my screen with you, and I think that everyone can actually get me clearly. Please let me know in the comment section if you can get me clearly. Please let me know in the comment section if you can get me clearly. Please let me know in the comment section if you can get me clearly. Okay. So I just also want to confirm if you can see my screen properly. If also you can see my screen properly, please. I just want to confirm as well if you can see my screen properly.
It's better now. Mhm. Okay, thank you very much, guys, for your patience. I think that we are much all right now. Please let me know in the comment section if everything is fine. Please let me know in the comment section if everything is fine. I know the network is very bad, but I think everything has been adjusted. Let me know in the comment section if everything is fine now. Let me know in the comment section if everything is fine. I think the network is better now. Let me know in the comment section if everything is fine. I think the network is much more better now. And we can kickstart more effectively. So please, if you can hear me, and also if you can see the screen of my phone, of my computer, please do not hesitate to let me know. If you can get me clearly and you can also see the screen of my computer, do not hesitate to let me know. Okay, thank you. All good. I understand that. Hey, 1G Fabrice, I hope you are doing fine today. I understand. Cameroon is Cameroon. We are going to keep pushing it like that because first of all, the network is not our friend, and in every session, we are always just going to struggle and do what we can do. I understand the network is poor. I understand it's not easy, and also just do well to acquire a good network internet connection for your own self so that next time we get this even more better. So we are right here, and we are going to push forward with our first pair of the day, and I'm just going to keep my own video off the chat just to ensure that all the internet quality goes to the chat. So let's move straight and see exactly what the market is saying. And you also have the privilege to let me know any of your challenges. And if you have any challenge that you might want us to actually address during this program, please do not hesitate to let me know because I'm here for you. I'm here to assist you. I'm here to give you the best you can get and actually push you through this journey. So that is why I'm here. My objective is to help you, to communicate with you, and share my own trading experience with you along the line. So please let me know in the comment section if you have any challenge that you want us to address during this live. Hello to Bless, hello to Pride, hello to Kimby, and to any other person watching us live. Please do well to share, like, comment, invite others to join. Do not forget to click on the like button. And if you are watching us for the very first time and you are not in our WhatsApp channel, do well to actually get a link on our WhatsApp channel from our WhatsApp channel link in the live description to join us straight away. So, guys, I'll be kickstarting my analytics today, and we will be looking at the DXY before pushing forward on other assets. So today, during the morning session, we said that we are looking for a bearish DXY, and we're still on that fact right now. So we are on the smallest time frame possible, and as we are going to be pushing through the analytics, as I've earlier said, for those who followed me in the morning, I did a vivid analytics on the DXY, and I just have to justify this fact all again that I saw this beautiful trend line that was broken on the DXY, this black trend line you see, and the market broke it without retesting it. Apart of that, we have a strong fair value gap where you can observe very much on the daily time frame. This fair value gap leaves here a point of interest, POI, where we are expecting the market to mitigate definitely in the days ahead. So you can see right here, this fair value gap is a solid one and actually add up to a confluence right here. So it is very much possible for us to see price reacting inside the fair value gap and even possibly retesting on the trend line. This is one of the major reasons why I chose a bearish DXY today, and that is why I'm still looking forward for a bearish DXY. So, if I were given the opportunity to take a trade based on the DXY analytics today, feeding down my analytics to something quite easier, these are the options I may have. So, going down to a smaller picture, I will actually use the principle of consolidation or a consolidation market tactics to be able to derive something very interesting right here on the DXY. So right here, I'm on the 2 hours chart and I'm showing you exactly what's happening on the 2 hours chart. We have this consolidative zone that is going to be created or that seems being created already on the DXY. These zones meet between these two levels, as you can see. I'm going to make our POI a less more visible just to bring some clarity on what we are doing right now. So if you can look at what I've just mapped here on the DXY, this is a consolidative zone that the market just sets into. So this zone is quite tactical. We saw the way the market actually made this zone before, consolidated within it, then breaks it to the upside. Market has been held again inside the same trap, and this just can form the base of your trading today. That means it can form the base of your trade execution today. So what are we expecting from this consolidative zone? You find yourself in an area that taking a sell on DXY could just be a turnover because of this consolidative zone. So what am I going to do, or what am I expecting to do as a trader right here? So what I'm expected to do is that I want to see a break and retest of this structure for me to continue bearish down to the downside. This is just a reflection of what DXY is saying. It means that if we can go deeper, we are going to see a lot of other information on this chart that could be very much interested to you and I. So, pushing away from this, there are a couple of other things that we could consider or we should look for on other pairs in relation to the DXY. In relation to the DXY, this definitely means that I'm going to be seeing a bullish Euro USD. I understand a couple of people have been struggling to sell Euro USD since morning, and our analytics is coming up to be more of like a referee or an idea giver or a guide for all those planning to take a sell on that particular asset pair. So in this market sessions today, I will be showing you exactly my analytics on Euro USD, what I think on Euro USD, and the possible market direction that Euro USD could be picking in the next couple of hours. So right here, you can see that the market has been trending really bullish for Euro USD recently, and we could actually break down Euro USD based on different market analytic techniques. We could use the market structural mapping technique to be able to determine if what was happening on Euro USD. Market mapping or market structural mapping technique is very effective and efficient when it comes to this type of market. As you can see right here, uh, we're actually using market structure to map structural highs and structural lows along the line, as you can see. And here we have a beautiful low that has not been taken off. So this is our key low in this market structure. So based on market structure, it will be necessary for us to have a break of Euro USD below this structure for us to say that Euro USD is completely bullish. You get it? So as of now, we cannot just say that Euro USD is completely bullish, bearish, sorry, because we are looking for a sell on this. Based on market structural technique, we have not yet had a change in trend yet. But there are other analytical methods that we could use in this regard. So you watching me live, which other analytical method do you think we could implement on this chart to have a better vision on what's happening? So let me know in the comment section what you think or what you have in mind as per what we could do to have a better analytics from here. Let me know what you have in mind. Let me know what you are thinking on this particular asset class, which is Euro USD. So what do you think we can do on the Euro USD chart to be able to analyze this market more effectively if we are not getting in because of market structure as we speak right now. So let me know your thought, what you are thinking that could give you the next sell opportunity on Euro USD. So I'm watching down the comment section to get what you think and what you are saying. So let me know from the comment section what you think, what you're saying, and exactly what you think we could do. Okay. What we are getting from Bless is that Bless is saying that we should try up a trend line to be able to see what next for EU. So, any other analytical method anybody is proposing? Any other analytical method anybody is proposing, please let me know. Okay, Fidelity is saying that since the market is trending, we can use a trend line. All I just wanted to get from ability to think on which analytical method could best suit that particular market. So I think we should be going in with market structure and also possibly trend lines. So we are going to be going in with trend lines. So to see exactly what the market is saying, trend line could be a perfect method for us to dive into this market. So I will be taking up a trend line analytical method to see exactly what we got for Euro USD. We are going to be very, very keen to our trend line because trend line is a powerful trading technique. As you all know, trend line is a very effective trading technique, and we will go with the trend line and see what we get. So let's go with trend line and see what the market is saying. So I'm just going to keep away everything we've done with market structure so far, and let's take a trend line. And our trend line can come from the origin. So the origin is the beginning of this market consolidation. So I can assume my origin from. Let me just say I get to the weekly, and on the weekly, this my trend line going to be very safe. So let me go on a smaller picture. Wait. On the weekly, let me try something first. Analytics is all about research, and that's what I want you a lot of people to understand today. So we have first our first trend line goes those. That is from the origin, right? So if we are to consider this from the origin, this is where our first trend line is starting from. This is our outer trend line. So our outer trend line is very powerful, and the market can actually end up coming back to our outer trend line. So that's our outer trend line. And apart of that, I think we can also have an internal trend line that can actually flow from one of the price level. So some of the conditions to draw a trend line is a diagonal line, but this one is an internal trend lines. So internal trend lines can easily be broken. This is what you should know. So right here we have an internal trend line, and this internal trend line has an origin from this, as you can see. So we have an internal trend line and an outer trend line. So assuming that the market is going to target our trend line, one of the best price level we can expect from here One of the best price level we can expect from this market is market actually moving to the downside. I think that would be one of the best price level that we might be expecting so far. So far, it will be necessary for us to expect the market move to the outer trend line. So I'm going to differentiate. I'll be differentiating the market from the outer trend line and the inner trend line. So let me get this as a perfect demarcation. And so I will map our inner trend line banner to be something like red. So let me give you the color red in the banner. So our outer trend line is a red zone. And based on the trend line trading technique or the price action followed up by trend line, market has been able to touch a USD right here, and also it has been able to touch it here. So we have one, two, and we have a three touch, a third touch that was here, and currently it touches it here again. So this internal trend line has been very massive, and what I can see here is very simple. Market braked it massively to the downside. As you can see, this was a massive break to the downside, and this is very tactical, right? Very tactical. And I know a lot of people are looking at a break and retest of this trend line, but my analytics is going to be very much deep because I like deep analysis. You get it? I like deep analysis. Deep analysis is very much necessary for me, and I will be pulling up a deep analytics to see what we got. And deep analytics, let's go for a deeper analytics. For a deeper analytics, there is a lot I'm going to consider. First, let's say that a trend line break and retest is going to be considerable. Like, okay, let's get this to this, fine, break and retest. So a break and retest can be a very normal technique utilized here, but I'm going to go above that because what you know, you get it, what you know generally by everybody will be used to create liquidity. That means what everybody is thinking, what everybody knows is what is going to help us to create liquidity. That's one thing I want you to understand. And now, please, if you are following me live, do share this live massively. This program just started today. A lot will be shared on daily basis. You are going to learn a lot. My own is giving you 4 hours of my day every day. And all I want from you is that you should share the program. You should like it. You are the only person that can make this go viral, not me. You watching, are you sharing? Are you liking? Are you commenting? Are you interacting? Is the life interesting? If your life is interesting and interactive, Facebook is going to release it so that more people can see it. So you are watching, you love what we are doing. It's simple. Interact. You get it? So there's a method of analytics that I'm going to apply now. Something you need to listen to it attentively because what I want you to understand here is that looking at the trend line is not just what you're supposed to look at. There is something very pertinent. Once you are actually analyzing the market, you must consider the previous action to be able to identify where the current action is going to. Like now, as we speak, right? We are we were on a sell on Euro USD. We are currently seeing a buy on Euro USD. It's like a pullback. You get it? So the buy now is going to be more determined by the previous action that was a sell. Vous comprenez? Donc, on va essayer d'analyser le marché en tenant compte de ce qui s'est d'abord produit sur le marché. On a eu un sell dernièrement. Et actuellement, on est en train de voir un buy, soit un pullback sur Euro USD. Pour pouvoir identifier avec beaucoup plus de, d'assurance ce qui se passe, on doit prendre cette technique qui veut dire le technique de l'identification de direction du marché en tenant compte l'ancienne action du marché. Le marché a été baissier pour un bout de temps. Actuellement, on est en train de voir un redressement. Ce qui va nous identifier, ce qui peut nous pousser à identifier où le redressement est en train de partir, c'est l'ancienne action qu'on avait dans le marché. En tenant cette conclusion, en fait, why taking this conclusion or adopting this analytical method? Then it is very tactical. The first thing we are going to do is that we are going to try as much as possible to capture, you get it, to capture where the market, the zone that shows the previous action. So here we go. I'm going to consider this. Vous voyez, je prends ça d'abord. Lorsque je prends ça, as I take this, I'm going to go on the weekly time frame, for example. This is the sell action that has been taking place after putting it on the weekly time frame. So if this is a sell action that has been taking place, I will now be able to use this sell action to be able to determine something from the chart. So based on the current market movement, which the market has been trending, I'm going to do something. I'm going to actually blur off this trend line. Even though it's a trend line that we are, I'm going to just put it as a dot. So as a dot, and I'm going to fin it. We all know a trend line is passing there, you get it. So, but I don't want it to be the epitome of the analysis or the point of interest or what is pulling your attention, because I got a couple of other things to do there, you get it. So now here, I'm going to use a market analytics for a training market because it's not consolidating. So I'm going to independently analyze this market based on market structure. So market structure, I put, I got a line. Then here I put, and I have another line here. Right here, I'm going to have another market structure here. And here, I'm going to have another market structure here. So, based on market structure now, we can now define this particular movement that we're having. We have in mind this our trend line. Don't forget, this our trend line is in my mind. It's fine, but we don't just react like that. So, this is what I'm going to do. I will change the color of this trend line to, let's say, red. So, so this is what I'm going to do now. This wave that first of all took place here, you all can see that the price action that took this market to the downside was a basal structure. So the first one, the first wave, we have a POI here, which is more like a base. So this POI was the reason the market mitigated the structure. So I'm going to put here POI, point of interest, right? So, oh, not just an OB. Let's put it like a point of interest. So that's fine. We have that. It's interesting, right? So this is the main reason, the magnet that took price to this level. And then I'm going to fin out the next wave because I will assume that I'm done with the first leg out or with the first impulse that this market created. So this market created this impulse, and there was a correction of the impulse. You get it? So this was a correction of this impulse to this point of interest. So now I'm going to now break down my analytics to something more interesting. This is now the next impulse that the market created. So I'm going to investigate the current impulse. You get it? To find a point of interest within the recent impulse, then get where the market can go to in that impulse. While analyzing this current impulse for a POI, I can switch to different time frames. Please, you are not liking, you are not sharing. Like, share, comments, give this live some heart. Like, share, comments, and give this live some heart. Like, share, comment, and give this live some heart. Like, share, and comment. Give this live some heart. So, I know there is a red trend line here, but still, I will not just assume a break and retest of the trend line. I am now doing a deeper analytics to be sure of what might happen. So right here now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to research for POI in the latest impulse. This impulse is this latest downtrend that is getting corrected right now. So I can switch to different time frames. Let's say I switch to the daily time frame. And on the daily time frame, what I can see here is a huge fair value gap. So that is the first thing I can see, a huge fair value gap. So I will say that there is a huge fair value gap here. That is what I'm seeing on the weekly time frame, on the daily time frame, sorry. So on the daily, I can see a fair value gap, which is good. I can name it an fair value gap. So I will just give it the definition of a fair value gap and fine. So from this fair value gap, I can move down to a smaller time frame like the 12 hours chart. There is no price point of interest or there is no price action that is more significant there. But on the on the on the 12 hours chart, there is also a more refined fair value gap that get refined to this structure here. I hope you guys can see. So I've increased the correlation, or the colorimetry, whatever you can call it. So I've just increased it to be more visible. So I think it's more visible, right? And we will move to the next thing we could do. So on the 9 hours chart, nothing. On the 6 hours chart, nothing. On on the on the 3 hours chart, something a little bit more up. So we are going to go a little bit up. I see the first fair value gap that came here. More detailing. So more detailing. So based on more detailing, we are on the we are here on the 3 hours chart. So, but the first fair value gap that was created up here has a bigger candle as compared to this other one we saw lately. So we go to the 2 hours chart, and the price action in here on the 3 hours chart. In this regard, there is an interest of us struggling as much as possible to bring up, let's say, a volume profile to see where most of the volume was injected here. So a volume profile tool might be more useful to us because we are like confused of where most of the volume were injected, because we have two price point of interest. Even though I can already use the size of the candlestick on at my own end to be able to look at what is happening, I understand that a lot of people could be confused. So what am I going to do? I'm simply going to get an indicator, or I'm going to get an indicator. So I'm going to use Tradadell's flexible volume profile, and I will capture from here to here. So I'm trying to get the volume clusters. So let's see here. So I see. So I have two volume clusters here. Two volume clusters. The first volume clusters is coming from here, and let me give it. And the second cluster is somewhere here. So price is already within the first cluster. So there is a potential market can pass the first cluster to the second cluster level. So I'm going to bring in another volume tool. Let's keep trader those two first. Let's bring in another instrument. So let's see. I'm going to get like session volume profile HD. So let's get session volume profile HD. Session volume profile. I will edit the session volume profile just to show some informations and keep some away. So let's put the POC. All right, let's put the POC value, and what again? Input style. Let's keep developing PO tool off, developing that off, and labels price goes. So I think I'm good to go. So here we are on session volume profile, and this shows you based on different sessions. So I'm actually going to be filling in within my price point of interest to see what we have, because session volume profile is limited to either a particular session or to a particular zone. So that's one thing we need to understand. So session volume profile will not be the best tool here. Yeah, because We are not just looking at a particular session, but we are looking at an entire area. So to me, I have two volume clusters, and I will consider the last cluster up here, where more volume was injected from this base. This is bringing it very much closer to my that means this other volume cluster up here, this one up. What can I use to show you? Let me just keep this stuff away. So uh, so let me take from here. Get this cluster. We got this cluster. So from every indication, the second cluster up here shows more volume was injected here. That is even more closer to our second fair value gap. So let me go back to a more bigger time frame because I think that the price, the stuff here is actually bringing you some little confusion. So if we go back to a bigger picture, right, we are going to have this entire candle as a more voluminous candle, and then we capture the fair value gap that came from there. But when we went to a 3 hours chart, we're able to see that there was a fair value gap that came from. Let me first of all keep the volume cluster away, and I can actually show you because some people might be confused where I am picking up all of this data from. So even though we have an entire zone on the 3 hours chart, we have two fair value gap zone that have been shown. So the first one is this one here. This fair value gap zone here is very practical, and we can see from the size of the candle that it was quite massive, right? So we can keep this one here. And then the second one was down here. This on 3 hours chart. You get it. So the first one up, I will just change the color to a slight red color. So the first one red is bigger. You get it? It's bigger and it's from the beginning of the candle explosion. It gives us more practical knowledge on the fact that that is where possibly the market started to sell from. You get it? So now this brings us to a good conclusion that Euro USD that is actually testing this area now could move further to that price level. So in this sense, we can now put back our chart more well. We could do it bigger. So our black trend line is back on our chart. So while looking up for a second confluence, I can now see that market has a potential to break above this zone, then rally to this trend line, and there will be a confluence between the trend line and this fair value gap, then a sell. So currently, if I were to look for a short-term trade opportunity on Euro USD, I'll be more bullish to what is going to happen. So let me know in the comment section what you think about what I just did. What is your take on that? Let me know in the comment section. Thank you. Let me know in the comment section what's your take on that. Let me know in the comment section what's your take on the analysis we just did. Okay, use Fibo tool. Okay, we can also use Fibonacci. I'm not refusing that fact. We can also use Fibonacci. We can use Fibonacci in the trade as well. So it's very possible we use Fibonacci. With Fibonacci, it's still fine. It's going to create an additional confluence or definitely um, a more realistic judgmental on where the market could be heading to. So let's say we got this. Picking up our Fibonacci tool is we are going to start from the beginning of the analytics. We pull it down to this structure here, and we will be going in for 61% levels, between 61% level and 78%. That is a golden zone. And in that regard, between 68% and 78 is somewhere around here. So the golden zone is somewhere here. So price reaction inside here will be more like on the golden zone. So that is a plus. on what we just did. So let me get your thoughts on this. What do you think about the analytics on Euro USD? Let me know in the comment section what you think on Euro USD. And from here, I'm going to go and answer one or two queries for those who have challenges and want us to address before we can continue with an analytical method. So let me know. So I'm waiting for your comments right there in at the comment section on Euro USD analytics. Do you have any objection? What do you think? Okay, market is going to grab down liquidity then buys. I'm seeing some episode of market consolidation. Okay, it's cool. I like to mind these indicators used, which confused me at some point. We did not actually use a lot of indicators. We just used uh, this thing. We just used one stuff. So, okay, let's see on the probability of the most detailed price action that could occur. So, if there's any liquidity, anything to be grabbed, let's just check together and see what we can do on a smaller time frame. The matter here is not just to analyze, but to drive you to a successful trade. That's what I want you to get. So here we are. We go down. At least we have an idea of what's happening, right? So this is what we get. We are in a very stiff consolidation for Euro USD, and for the next movement to occur, we must see the market leave out this consolidation, and this is one of the reasons that the market has not really been moving so well today. The market has been consolidating, and since the market has been consolidating, massively. So let's see what we have here. The first thing here is that we have this, I see, and we have this. Are you guys saying? So this is a high and the low of this consolidation. But as our analytics is showing, we have a more greater priority on the market buying based on the bigger picture of what we get. And we are now going closer to the most thin price action that we could get. And on this chart, what gives this market a consolidation phenomenon is that the market, first of all, comes closer to, we have this and we have this low. We saw the first reaction of the market that was to the high, to the low, to the high. This is what is defining the consolidation. So with this already, we can now say, okay, we have a defined consolidation. So when we say that the market is consolidating on the smaller picture here, that is the reason why we are saying so. So it should not just be an assumption. So from there now, the market now started to get back on the way down and then made a fair value gap here. I guess saying the market made a fair value gap here. That's fine. It made a POI there. That is, it's just a little internal POI. And this is the reason why this market went up and even reacted here several times. I hope you guys can see that. So, as traders here, we have two things to do. If we are to trade this consolidation, because a lot is going to happen here. So this is an internal trend line that is going to be serving as a distraction because it's going to take you away from the reality of this chart. The reality of this tiny movement here is that the market is consolidating. That is the first thing I want you to understand. That is first reality. The market is consolidating. And if the market is consolidating from this price level, it means that the best trading technique stipulates that if I'm to sell this market, I should sell high. As you can see, I should sell from these levels. And if I'm to buy this market, it will be best for me to buy low. So I should be able to buy from these levels. As we can see. So two things are here to be made. Just two scenarios can be produced when the volatility get back in. The two scenarios are simple. Either we get an aggressive break, that's the first thing. So what could be your trigger? Because the response that you trader supposed to give in this market will be based on the trigger you get. So if I don't get a trigger, I'm not going to get into the trade. So what is my trigger? Why am I taking this trade? The first trigger will be a break of the structure away, price shifting a little bit away from it, then a retest of the structure. That is a trigger for me to take a buy. Secondly, there is liquidity normally lying down here. There's liquidity lying here. And if at all I have a trigger from liquidity, then it will make more sense. So if I have a trigger from liquidity, the trigger from liquidity will stipulate that the market shunts down to clear off this liquidity back here, and I'm going to get a trigger to buy from the low. So these are the two triggers any trader could use to get into this market. And let me know in the comment section what you think about the two triggers that we should be getting if we want to enter into Euro USD. So let me know in the comment section what you think about that. Let me know in the comment section what you think about that. Let me know in the comment section what you think. You clear me? Okay, some people are for the second trigger. So some people are for the second trigger. So Ambe and uh, Wang are for the second trigger. So very tactical, and let's watch the market play. That's the most important thing. But this gives you a very more like 60% chance of winning your trade, because a lot of people just trade without proper checks. This will give you a more reliable analytics. So in that regard, I know I'm going to go and pick up any challenge and then we handle. So if you have any challenge, please drop it in the comment section and I'll be able to handle it for you. So drop it in the comment section and I'll handle it for you. Roy is saying that, so what about the imbalance created by the news of last week? Can the price not tap in that imbalance? Okay, that is good question. Price tapping back into this imbalance is also much likely possible. Is also very possible. But we all know that consolidation is a continuation pattern. And that is why a more weighted analytics towards continuation is probable. But as we all know, we are only going to react based on triggers. I'm not just going to enter a trade because I'm seeing candle red blue, but based on triggers. And that is just why our weighted analytics is more on a continuation of what happened last week. So the same things go for the DXY, because we talked about the DXY. We saw a continuation pattern on the DXY. It was more of a consolidation. And you can look at whatever you got consolidations. So look at when this market was going up, the market rallied. Let me just show you on the 15, on the 30 minutes to make it more probable. So the market rallied here, as you can see, up, consolidation, break to the upside. Perfect. That was a continuation pattern that served as what? A continuation movement. And this is what you should be learning from all of these things. And again, we are having again a reflection of a continuation pattern again that is more of a consolidation here. Possible break to the downside as well. So these are some of the things we use patterns when doing things, like we also use patterns, and we try as much as possible to put all of these things together to make more sense to what we are doing. So I hope that makes some sense. I hope that makes some sense. So let me know in the comment section what you think about that. And if you have any challenge, you can drop it so we can look at it together and then we move on to something more better. If you have any challenge, please do not hesitate to drop it down. I'm just giving you 5 minutes to drop any challenge or anything you want me to talk about before we take the next analytics. So I'm checking the comment section to see what you got as challenge. So I have a big problem with entry model. Problems because it has a rejection many times. Okay. Okay. So Empire Prof FX has a problem at the level of entry method. So let's talk about entry before we pick up on our next analytics. So when we want to talk about entries is a broad topic. But to make it more safer for you, you can have a very good entry. You get it? If truly you understand what entries are all about. Entries are all about trigger. What triggers you to take a trade? That's what we should be talking about now. And in that regard, let me assume you get it. You have a good understanding of point of interest, like things that can push the market to buy and push the market to sell. And when we look at things that can push the market to buy or push the market to sell, we'll be able to talk about point of interest. Those point of interest are much likely to be areas where market can buy or market and sell, and it carries a particular demand or supply point of interest. This demand or supplies trading price action is characterized by what or how institutions reacted at those zones. Let's assume that you know about fair value gap, for example, and on this chart we have a fair value gap. Let's say this market was selling to the downside. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. Let's just say we have a market that was selling like, and then came somewhere here and then gave a huge fair value gap, then moved down again. So let's say that this fair value gap that was created here is what you could identify as a point of interest. Now, your entry now is going to be settled around this POI. Now, there are two things. This POI has been identified. And once you identify that POI, it is not a trade. It is not a setup. It is an idea. Because you could be seeing that fair value gap as a POI, but another person could be seeing another POI. Let's say that somebody trading with a trend line came up here and then did a trend line that is passing here and touching this initial. So let's say 2.2 with diagonal zone with link. So you now have two traders. One of them knows that the market is going to go back to the trend line. The second trader feels that the market can go back to the POI. In this regard, we have two traders and they have two trading ideas. They have their ideas and they can propose their ideas. They can propose their ideas and they wait to see if price can go to that levels. That is good. But now, after proposing or having your idea or your trade idea, we now need to see, can trade go back to the trend line or to the fair value gap is now being determined by the market, not by you and I. So you are looking for your entry. This entry that you see here, when price go back to this entry, it is now going to be called a setup. Are you getting me? So let's say price goes to the trend line and also price go to the fair value gap. The two traders now are now made with a choice of either taking a trade based on the fact that market has come back to where they were thinking. So that your trade idea that you have is now called a trade setup. So you have moved from just having an idea to having a setup. We are going now to what we are calling an entry. Now, I have a setup. Price have come back to my POI. Now that price is back into my POI, what am I going to do? I need a trigger to turn this into a trade. Now, all of these two traders, all of them, these two traders that got the fair value gap as a POI and the one that got a trend line as a POI are now thinking to trade this market. So, what am I going to do? For me to take a trade here, I must confirm that even though price came from my idea to a setup, coming back to where I am planning to sell, I'm not going to sell this market unless I have what they call an entry trigger. And this entry trigger now will be finted down to the fact that the market reacts to, let's say, my trend line and start to sell or get a sell confirmation. What do I mean? Market come here normally and start to sell. I must confirm that this sell is true, a true sell. And this must be done by not taking an aggressive sell on the trend line or an aggressive sell inside the fair value gap, but by waiting for the reaction of the sell in that fair value gap or in that on that trend line to have a confirmation of trend change. So let's assume this is done in a trending way. So let's say I just deleted. Let me get back to that. So we get back to this. So let's say I'll go to a smaller time frame, right? So when this market was going up to my entry to form my setup, the market was trending like this. It was trending. So the market was going trending up, trending down, market structure, tick tack, tick tack, tick tack, tick tack. When the market got into my point of interest, if you just start to sell, you are in trouble because it can pass and continue up, oh, and you will discover that you took a mess up. Even though your idea came to a setup, you do not get a trigger. That's why you got burned. You get it? That's why you are not a profitable trader because you did a wrong entry, even though price came to what you were thinking. So when price get to this point, I must wait for a confirmation of trend change. For example, market comes and then come and break the last low. Now I will now say that okay, the last low here has been broken, and I will say this is a change in market characteristics. I will now say the market is bearish. So my trade idea became a setup. My trade setup has now become a trade because I now have a sell trade opportunity. Now I'm now going to look for an entry. You now get where the entry is coming from. A lot of people confuse setup to entry. A lot of people are confusing trade idea to a setup. And now it's only when an idea becomes a trade, or it's when an idea becomes a trade setup, and the setup becomes a trade, then you now look for an entry. So I'm now looking for a sell entry because every condition meets a sell market. So right here, and now can I look maybe for a break, a pullback to a point of interest along the break for me to get into my trade. And you are going to see that if you do like this, the way I just explained to you, you will not your problem with entry is going to be reduced massively. A lot of people are impatient. Your trade idea could meet a setup on Monday. Listen to me. Your trade idea could become a setup on Monday, and then it takes Tuesdays and Wednesday even for the trade setup to become a trade, and you only get an entry on Thursday. Yes, that's the process. But now, a lot of people get in, eh? They just get into the trade without knowing. They just get into the trade because the market has come to their setup. And at the end of the day, problem left, right, account blown, trade lost, depression, money gone, all of that. So I think this has been trash. I think that this particular question has been trash. And anybody live watching me right now will do better when it comes to trading entry. So let me know from your comment section if this answer your question, if you've learned something from this, and we can proceed from there. So let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section what you think for us to continue. So let's continue. I've got your comment section clearly explained. Thank you. I'm blessed. This program has just changed the way I see the market. Thank you very much, sir. We are just on day one, and I tell you, I guarantee you, people, I've said I am here for you till December. We do 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the afternoon. You plug in when you want, you plug in when you are free, and I bet you we are going to learn a lot from this. We have a lot to share together. I really want to help a lot of traders become even more profitable and to change the way they see Forex. A lot of people are seeing Forex as if it's gambling, as if it doesn't work. It truly works. Forex is profitable. It's one of the best business you can do. And now the problem is at the level of doing what we are doing. A lot of people will understand. A lot of people will join us soon. So, guys, it's massive. It's interesting. It is powerful. So let's go straight and see what next we got on the market. But before we go to the next pair, it's very visual for me to check what is going on as we are analyzing. So we are possibly going to get a breakout from the XY, Euro USD something getting something very similar. So we are waiting, even though the price action has not manifested to a break yet. We are still just turning around the price level. So from there, we're going to pick up the next pair, and we are going to pick up the next pair and then see exactly what we can push. You get it? So that's it. You can see Euro USD reacting on this resistance here, but the two triggers have been set: breakout or liquidity clear to the downside is what we are expecting. So I'm going to pick up the next pair before I take anything like an issue. So if you have another one you want me to talk about, you can drop in when the time comes. You can drop in the comment section. But please like, share, comment, invite others to join us. Click on the like button, click on the share button, click as much as you can click. So tomorrow we are going to be on TikTok. Tomorrow we're going to be on Instagram. So today we started on Facebook and on YouTube. So tomorrow we are going to extend on TikTok and also on Instagram. The goal is to help as many traders as possible become profitable and trade responsibly. So let's look at the next thing. I cannot take a shot here. I cannot sell EU. This is what I want to let you know. I cannot take a sell on EU. I can't. I have my reason. I cannot take a sell on EU. So let's go on the next thing that we should be looking at. So I want you to propose. I want you guys to propose. What do you think this week you are looking at? Which pair are you looking at this week? That is very interesting to you. Which pair are you looking at this week that you really need us to look at? I know. Gold. I know everybody gonna say gold. Okay, let's look at gold and see what gold is saying to us. Okay, this is gold. Let's analyze gold. This is gold. The heights of gold. In fact, let me show you on a 1 month chart because the market has been consolidating between a 1 month chart and all of that. And there was this candle here, this 1 month candle, that the market actually, it was much of an indecision candle, and it was much, he has created a range. This 1 month candle has created a range for gold, massive range. So if you go down to the 1 hour chart, you can see the range even more better. So the range has the range high and the range low. right here. So that's the first price action on gold that we can see. So we can bring it back here and bring it back here. So this is what we have as a range is concerned. So now, apart of these, on the weekly time frame, uh, the next price action I can say here. Let me go to the daily so I can say something better. So we can say that we have out of this range, this trend line that seems very effective. We are going to put it black, and we have this. You get it. That was also quite effective here. So, are you okay with the trend line? Before I continue, first, are you okay with the trend line that we are seeing? Are you okay with the trend lines? For those watching, are you okay with that trend line? Let me know in the comment section if you're okay with that. Are you okay with the trend line? I'm watching you from the comment section. What's your say on that? Okay. Uh, Dope is talking about the origin of the trend line from the low. The origin of the trend line from the low. Are you considering? So okay, let's also consider what you're saying. Okay, if you are talking about this origin from the low, it means you consider, yeah, it's true because this was an entire wave here. So let's just assume this. It's not even an assumption, it's you are still correct because um, I'm considering what everybody is saying. Oh. So let's go from the origin low. Mm, bird, origin from where the market started going up. Mm-hmm. Mm, so if we are to consider this, then we are here. This reaction took place already. So we had this market reacted from this low, reacted there, reacted here. So it has been a valid trend line, one, two, three, break, retest the first time, second retest. That caused a confluence to this zone. Then, so based on this trend line, normally the market should be going to the downside, and that was based on the trend. But based on the consolidative principles, we should be having the market sell. We should have a sell on roll currently. So that's good, very good, very good. We are going to get to something, so worry less. So from this price level as well, um, I will just keep these trend lines less that visible because we still have a lot of work on this particular chart. So the next thing I have here is an internal support or a local support. This is it. This local support is the main reason gold is going back to the upside. And if we were to look at the market based on this recent creation, that was from the 27th of May, that was from the 21st of May, the market has been reacting inside this local consolidation. So it's like a mini consolidation in the bigger picture, right? So based on this fact, it was normal for us to see a massive buy reaction here on gold. And now, if we are to go out of this local consolidation, we might be used as liquidity. Yeah, because from May to now, market has been reacting inside this local consolidation. Or as I'm talking, I will just change the color of the zone. So we don't just speak, but you should see what we are talking about. So here we go. So from here, I think you can see what I'm trying to explain here. So you have these here. So market is just moving between these two levels. That is from May 21st. Gold has been respecting this local support, but there is a possibility break to the bigger support structure right down here because this internal consolidation can be extended. So this trend line recently formed a confluence between the internal consolidation that also sharing boundary with the higher consolidation zone. We saw the market reacted there recently, so I will increase because it served as a critical line here. So let me put it in a green color. So this is one of the main reasons gold sold massively recently because of that confluence that was made from that price level. You get it? So that's fine. And now the next thing this analytics is taking me to is the fact that there is a great potential that market is going to go back to this resistance here. You get it? So even if we were to look at this trend line passing here, if we to increase the capacity and put it as a dotted line, the line has already been broken. And what we call trend lines are updative. So in this phase, we should update this trend line to this. So it is adding up or summing up to a confluence zone right up here. And in this regard, we can say that I am more bullish to go to that price level. So first and foremost, I want if you agree with the outlook on gold and the possible direction, first of all, let me know in the comment section before we can continue. So we can go down finer. So let me know in the comment section what you think about what we just did on gold, and then we can go down a little bit more to break down what we got. So let me know what's your thought on this, please. What's your thought on this on the smaller picture? On this picture, what do you think? Is it okay? What do you think? Let me get your opinion on this, please. It looks good. Yes, Gaspar has something similar. I had a similar view. Dob say yes. Daisy is saying that's perfect. Robert says it looks good. So, if we can say collectively that this makes sense, then we are going to be hitting something more. And let's see exactly what we should be looking at. And that is the face of the man behind the traders live sessions on Facebook and on YouTube. So let's see how it's going to be going every single day. So we are going to pin down goal. And before we go down deeper on the goal analytics, if you have anything or any query or anything you want me to talk about, please do not hesitate to drop it and we'll talk about it. So if you have any challenge you want me to quickly talk about it before continuing, then go ahead. I'm right here for you. I'm waiting on the comment section. Rao said the goal setup is okay. Okay, we are going to pin down goal to a more probable trade. So let me know in the comment section what you think. What if you have any challenge? Just let me know. Let's go down to a more detailed analytics on goal and see what you should be doing. Probably if you are taking a trade, because I might end up taking a short buy on goal. So let's see what we have. So goal is actually bullish at the moment, and this is what we have. Let's go down to 1 hour chart, screens it down everything to see what we get. This is exactly what we are seeing. So I'm just going to keep this trend line away. I will just blur it. I have a reason for blurring it. So let's just blur this trend line a little bit. You get it? So let's blur it. And now we are going to now take up these different market waves, like what's happening on this mini consolidation that we've been having. So from what I was explaining to you guys on the bigger picture, You can see that from May 21st, gold has been moving between these two uh, local levels. As you can see, gold has been moving between these two local levels. So from here now, what are we going to be doing? So already from our market analytical framework, it is normal that this goal should continue. Something just happened. That was before the live at 12. Oh my God, this was a perfect trade setup. Because look, we had this consolidation. And as I explained to you recently, consolidation is a continuation pattern. And as a consolidation mapped between these levels, as you can see, it was a very nice one that was actually between this price level. Oh, this was a good trade. Was a good trade. So this was it. It was consolidating, and you all know consolidation is a continuation pattern. So from the consolidation, the market break above it. This is the trigger I was talking about. And what happened? A break and retest, a bullish movement for gold. So that was just a perfect trade, a beautiful trade. A lot of people would have taken this trade and make a good return of this market. So that was it. That was a trade with a very minimal stop loss, and we are still bullish on this fact. We get it. We are still bullish. So that's it. And if at all anything occur, because this is the first entry missed, the entry means your entry means where you stand a very small chance of either losing money through a pullback or through a retracement. So you have a greater chance. So the best trigger here would have been a break and retest of the consolidation. Consolidations mostly are continuation patterns. So apart of this, I don't think there is much to be done except otherwise anything happen in this sort. We have a trend line that has been touched severally, as you can see. This trend line was touched one, two. In fact, this trend line formed a mini channel which has been broken even. So we could say this was a mini channel. It has already been broken to the upside. So even if the market was to come back, um, the possibility of it coming back is low. Even if it was to come back, then a touch on this trend line could be a good trade setup. And also, if it comes back, and I'm actually on my computer, there are two things. I just want to explain this. This is if only it comes back because the setup was missed already. So if you were there, that was a trigger. So this is just an exceptional case I want to give you because you are going to come across such challenges with time. So look at it and listen to me attentively. This particular consolidation here carries a lot of accumulation. So a lot of trade was executed here. And if I put my volume profile, you are going to see that even though we had a huge fair value gap here, there was an imbalance. You are going to notice that. Let's just put a volume profile. It's not fine. Let me get something and then I put there. So let's get a flexible volume profile. So we put the volume profile from here. We get it from where this market showed huge volume to here. That's it. Let's there and see. You what do you notice? You are going to notice that even though this huge imbalance was here, the imbalance was an aggressive move, but doesn't mean that much volume was executed there. How we are learning something. So much volume was executed during this consolidation. And this zone like that is a very critical zone. And this trend line that you see here can destroy you. If you like, you don't hear. It means that this trend line was used by many traders to trade this market here and now form our potential weapon to destroy anybody here. So liquidity should lie beneath it because if we are to come back to this trend line, many people will struggle to actually buy the market on that trend line. So liquidity definitely lies beneath it. So if in a rare case gold happens to come back on our way back, a lot. So normally if you took your trigger here, you should already block your profit. Yeah, as a day trader, you should have taken profit or you should block entry. You should have made enough tips. You should because that's day trading. We move forward, we come back. So right here, this is what could happen if we get a volume profile. pullback, immediately here, a lot of traders are going to go into this trade. And now they will accumulate more orders. And a sharp break to the downside will clear off everything and we can kick off from here. Again, that is the next. If this happens, you seize the opportunity. Trading is all about opportunities. This is an idea. If this idea becomes a setup, we take the setup, we allow it to become a trade. When it becomes a trade, we take an entry and we end. Full stop. That's it. That is the crucial idea. And you can see that this is at the base here. That's where if I can put on the let me just put something. Let me go on setting on style input. Let me make it to show let's shows the center of volume. Like it is the center of the volume, this red line. This is the center. So most of the volume was injected here. So if this market happens to come back here, it will be a great setup. So this is why I'm coming live. I'm not just coming live to say that's that, but I'm going to give you possibility so that you can actually see how you can become profitable, how you can actually how this thing is done. That's why we are here, and that's why here we are here to support you, and also you are there to support the life. So we are always going to stick to the time. So the time we give, we stick to it. You get it? 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. is when we come live, and 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. we are live. So I believe that this has inspired a lot of people already, and we are at 2:58 p.m. And I want to thank all of you, and also you should encourage your friends and other people in your community to be able to follow this from tomorrow. I know it's still very fresh. Within the first 1 week, people will take note and they will notice it. So once they will notice it, they'll be able to follow. You will not regret following this program and learning from this. Thank you very much for all those who attended. It's a great pleasure having you always, and see you again tomorrow, 8 a.m. Cameroon time. GMT plus 1 is our local time zone.
Crypto and Forex Market Analytics available right here on MMI on Wednesdays and Sundays from 7:30 p.m. GMT plus 1. Follow us for more insight.